Let's just start by picking up on this discussion we've been having about this drama playing out in Washington this weekend. I see you're back in Maine. Before your flight yesterday, you put a hot potato in John Boehner's lap in the House. He's got this clean government funding bill, they're calling it. There's no defunding for Obamacare. They have to decide, the House Republicans have to decide this weekend what they're going to do with it. I just wonder, what is your expectation of what is going to happen in the House, and do you think we are, as everybody in this panel said, headed for a shutdown?
Well, first, Steve, let me say, let the record show that the Senate did the right thing, passed a clean continuing resolution, sent it over to the House yesterday afternoon. I think there are two really important points. One of them sort of wonky. I don't want to get a little too wonky on you, but one is the so-called Hastert Rule, that the Speaker won't bring a bill to the floor of the House unless it has the support of a majority of the Republican caucus. So what that means is the Republican caucus, I think, is 234 votes. That means like 120 people are holding the entire United States hostage. If he brought this continuing resolution to the floor that we sent him yesterday, just as is, and let everybody vote, chances are it would pass. It would get most of the Democratic votes and enough Republican votes to achieve a majority. But they've got this rule that if they can't have a unified caucus, then it comes to the floor. So that's one of the things that I think people should realize, that, you know, out of 535 people in Congress, this is like 120 or so that are, you know, it's the tail wagging the dog. The other thing that I think that's important, and it didn't come up in your earlier discussion, is there's a pernicious inner logic to what these characters are doing. They hate government. Yeah. They don't want government to work. They don't believe government can or should work. So to them, crashing the economy and crashing the government is a kind of weird success. And it's very hard to reach agreement with people who don't share a kind of basic appreciation of the institution. Well, this is dangerous. We've never been here before.
On that point, let me just ask you about a situation that could be coming up and you may be confronted with as soon as you come back to Washington. That is, if the House Republicans this weekend pass some sort of additional provision dealing with Obamacare. There's been a whole range of possibilities discussed here. You know, one would be the far one is sort of delaying all of Obamacare by a year, but there's also talk of, you know, simply banning members of Congress and their staffs from receiving, you know, government subsidies under Obamacare, which would probably be more of a symbolic thing. Are there any potential changes, even like a symbolic one like that, are there any potential changes you might be willing to live with and pass a funding bill of the government?
Well, I mean, if it's a provision that says we're going to honor our mothers every May, you know, that would be okay. But if it's substantive, no, I don't think so. And there is a principle at stake here, and that is, you know, we run the government, we do the right thing, we pass budgets, and then we argue about policy in the context of the legislation. This is a bad way, a precedent to establish that you can take hostages and then negotiate. I mean, have you seen the list of things that they're going to attach to the debt? I mean, it's everything but, you know, I haven't yet seen that it has a statue of Ayn Rand on the mall, but other than that, I mean, it's everything that they want.